11:01. 11:01, that means it's time to get started. Hey, welcome everybody.
Good morning.
You know, this is Woodland Chapel. You knew that, did you? This is a center for spiritual living. So we're glad you're here. Glad you made it. Glad you decided not to go someplace else. There's a lot calling us today, and to come here is one of those callings that has a lot of good rewards. So is there anybody here visiting for their very, very, very first time? we knew that. We've met you. Well, you know, we have a nice booklet we'd like you to have, a kind of a packet that gives you an idea, introduces you to us. Oh, you got one. Okay. I think they have one, Cheryl. Thank you. And nobody else? Okay. Well, we hope you like what you hear. We hope you like what you see, and we hope you come back. Yeah. We have some announcements we like to let people know what's going on. And I don't see them here, so I think they're over there. You know, we have two of these places to stand at. And yeah, gotcha. Thank you. That's Reverend Julie, by the way. She'll be back in all of her glory with a message in the morning pretty quick. So don't leave yet. Okay, wait a minute. This is the order of service. Let me have. Here we go. You know, we're really organized around here. You can tell, right?
Look how well you work together.
Yes.
I would just move in the spirit.
Hallelujah. Okay. We want you to really hang around afterwards and join us for fellowship downstairs, because there's good treats, good coffee, good fellowship, good people. And you know, we got this kindness tree in the library. There's a kindness tree sits there, has little tabs you can put down, and a notebook you can write your act of kindness that you know that you might have committed, performed. Anyhow, if you did something you know it was kind that you felt good about this last week, write that on that little tab and hang it on the tree. You'll like that. We like seeing those. Next Sunday, don't forget Soup for Sunday. Our Super Sunday for a fundraiser that we have going on called Soup for the Soul. So join us for soup and bread, and we suggest a donation, you know, a $100 bill would be fine. Whatever you have in your pocket. People put quarters in there. I saw 4 quarters. Beg pardon? The sign-up is out there on the round table. And the sign-up for people to bring soup? Or to... Oh. We usually have people who do that, and those that do, we really appreciate it, and those that don't, they really appreciate it too, because they eat it, okay. Hey, we got something great coming up, and you don't want to really forget to participate in this. Just come and enjoy us on December the 22nd, a Sunday. Not in the morning, because we decided not to meet in the morning. We decided to meet that evening and have something that's called the candlelight service, a real Christmas program. Christmas stories about kindness and Christmas music that just lifts your spirit. So no service in the morning, but a great service at night. That's something that you'll never regret coming that night and skipping some other kind of things, like going to a movie. You know, you don't want to skip that. You want to skip that, okay? Okay. I think we need to have some music. What do you say?
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ari's going to lead us in our...
Good morning, everyone. If you're up for it, will you stand and sing with me? We're going to sing Go Tell It on the Mountain, but not lyrics that you might be familiar with. I used some lyrics from the Agape group. They're a little less, maybe triggering. Less colorful words. Anyway, this is Go Tell It on the Mountain. Sing with me.
Okay.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, the light within is born. When I was young and troubled, searching for my soul, I went inside and I found a precious love and light. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, the light within is born. Do unto others as you would have them do. May we all be kind to each other, and life will be kind to you. Oh, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, the light within is born. The light within is born. Very nice, everyone. All right, we're going to slow it down now, but if you still know the song, please sing along. Let there be peace in my mind. Let there be peace in my mind. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om. Peace inside my heart, love and only love is moving me. Peace inside my heart, love and only love I live to see. Peace inside my heart, love and only love is moving me. Peace inside my heart, love and only love I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om. When there is peace in my mind, there will be peace in the earth. Thank you.
So we take a moment this morning to accept this peace on earth, peace in our hearts, peace in our minds, peace within. But that peace that goes out in the PEACE, the putting everyone above conflict everywhere. This is the kindness that we can show for ourselves and for everyone in our part of the world, for everyone on the planet. Putting peace within ourselves. We take this moment this morning to understand that there is a light that is something that shines forth to light our way, to give us clarity, give us guidance, to give us purpose and wellness for our life. And this is a part of the peace that we hold this morning as we come together and be in a place that is called our spiritual home, a place where we can feel safe and we can feel that we know that we belong. So this morning I take the time to give thanks that we have this opportunity to be together, and to sing our song, to have our voice go out into the listening ear of the universe and come back to us, just reverberating, all that kind of reverberating that knows that it's something wonderful, something grand, that lifts our hearts and our spirits and brings us together as we call this place, a place where we can come and be and hear not only music, but hear a message of the morning that we can take out into the world and share with others, and to find ourselves feeling like we are a part of something more than just existing. Life is good. This laboratory that we call our life, we do all these things not for just a recognition of being alive, but we do these things because we are God walking on this planet. And so I give thanks for this. And if you can agree with anything I've said this morning, together let us just say, and so it is. We're going to have a reading this morning.
We're going to have an affirmation first, right?
If I have a program to look at, yes, we do. We do have an affirmation, and it's one that's a good one. It's in your program, and together, we can say it together. Starts out, I choose to be kind. Each act of compassion ripples out to make this world a better place. I may not see how far those ripples go, but I know they are real. They are real, and so it is.
Beautiful.
Let's have a reading.
Okay. We call this different things. I've heard it called different things, but today we're calling it your God positioning system. And I love this from Robin Wall Kimmerer, Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants. Long title, but what he said was short. The land knows you even when you are lost. Think about that. Ernest Holmes writes in The Science of Mind, we can be certain that there is an intelligence in the universe to which we may come that will guide and inspire us, a love that overshadows. So this morning, my GPS took me on a completely bizarre route home. I could see the road I thought I should have been on, and I knew there was no traffic or logical reason for the detour the GPS insisted I take. As I sternly informed her of exactly how I felt about her inability to give proper directions, I remembered my God positioning system and burst out laughing. There it was, a gentle reminder that we really do need to surrender, relax, and trust that there is a higher perspective guiding us. In the midst of my mini rant, I realized that sometimes life's unexpected detours exist as opportunities in disguise. Maybe I just needed to take the scenic route to enjoy my morning errands a bit longer, or maybe I was being set up to be in the perfect time and perfect place in the future. In that moment, I embraced the unexpected, finding humor in the deviation and trusting that even in the twists and turns there's a purpose and a bit of beauty to be found. How is your God positioning system guiding you today? Little affirmation. I allow God's positioning system to guide me on my journey, trusting that every twist, turn, and bump is for my highest good.
Good morning again. I know most of you, but for those of you who don't, my name's Ari. It's lovely to be here. So I wasn't expecting to be here this Sunday, and Julie asked me earlier this week, which delighted me because it gave me the opportunity to finish a song I had been working on, and it's a holiday song, I guess you could call it. This is called Where Kindness is Found. The first Noel, the angels still sing. From the tops of the mountains, their voices still ring. Their song, it does travel like a bird on the wind, to fill the skies with hope's pure light, carried on the sound, the message of the greatest love. Let's spread it all around. There's magic where kindness is found. The first Noel, like a beacon of faith, brings the joy of each season into each day. The song, it can guide us, it will show us the way, to fill the skies with hope's pure light, carried on the sound, the message of the greatest love. Let's spread it all around. There's magic where kindness is found. Oh, our hearts may feel heavy in spite of the cheer, under the weight of each passing year. But there's something greater reminding us all of what we truly need. Oh, the first Noel, from the angels sing out. From the mountains, their voices reach here on the ground. Their song, it reminds us of the love that abounds. There's magic where kindness is found. There's magic where kindness is found. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ari. And thank you for being here. And don't you just love her? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really appreciate you being here. So good morning. Good morning, everyone. Oh, wow. It's good to see you this morning. Good to see you. So kindness. Our theme this month is kindness, as you've probably figured that out already. And last week, Reverend Moore told us some really heartwarming, I'm going to put my glasses over here, I don't need them, I don't think, some really heartwarming stories. And it's very important to have these experiences and hear these experiences. And so, you probably read a lot of scientific studies around these things where they hook you up with all kinds of things and then they have you think things or look at pictures or watch a video or something. And when you watch a video of kindness and there's something about, or blood tests too, I mean, they take your blood sometimes, that we have a higher immune response when we experience or see acts of kindness. So it's really, really a positive thing. And you know, kindness isn't a new idea to anybody, but I was looking at kindness, and I have a whole list of things that acts of kindness do. I'm not going to read them all because you can look them up, but improve our mood. Kindness can increase feelings of happiness, optimism, and self-esteem. When we see them, experience them, or actually do acts of kindness, reduce stress. And that's pretty good this time of year, right? It was a good thing, thank you, Michelle, that we are focusing on kindness this month, because as we move into a season of joy and jolly, it sometimes is a season of stress too, isn't it? Yeah. We don't buy a lot of presents anymore, so we just get together. So believe me, that is a relief of stress. I don't know about you guys, but no matter what I did on December 24th, and I'd have a list, and I had to have exact same amount of money spent on each one of the kids. Yeah. The exact number of gifts. My son last week said, well, I didn't get as many as my sisters. I said, you did too, because I still have the list. Which is true, I do. But that's really, it's like you need a computer brain to make that happen. And I would be, swear to God, on the 24th, down at the mall, and they were shutting down the gates. Yeah, and then it would be up all night packing, and we never had Christmas dinner. I mean, who needs it when you have toys and stuff? You really, who needs dinner? So it really acts of kindness. And it is kind of the season where we need acts of kindness, isn't it? Because we can really get harried and stressed, and yeah. So better heart health. Well, that's not surprising, because lowers the blood pressure and reduces inflammation, increases our energy, and there is just all sorts of really good reasons besides doing something good for somebody that kindness does for us. So, and my topic today is kindness is not easy. And I thought I should have come up with a different topic. And it was just, I had this deadline, and I was like, I couldn't think of a better topic. And I think that it might have been better if it was like, kindness is not always easy, rather than just saying kindness across the board is not easy. Yeah. And then you're coming here and like, what is she going to talk about? So kindness can be easy. It's so easy, you know, just to smile at somebody. So easy to do little nice things. That kind of thing is really easy. You know, my husband, he would sometimes mow lawns for people who couldn't mow their own lawn. I know Don does Meals on Wheels once a week. And Reverend Moore is part of an organization, the Y, that provides opportunities for people, and he shares that with us sometimes. So, and I know you are all here, are all wonderfully kind, and do wonderfully kind things. But, and oh, I got to tell you, in my church, this is my church, but before I retired, we had we wanted to do something, and I was always involved in our school district from the time our kids were little. And I knew they had a clothes closet, and the principal could refer families to the clothes closet, and they could pick out clothes. And so I was volunteering there one day, or taking things there or something, and I noticed there were lots of clothes, lots of really nice clothes, and kids were excited, but there were no shoes. And shoes are important. In fact, you can dress really in just jeans and a t-shirt, but you better have the right kind of shoes. In school. And this served from elementary on through high school. So I thought, well, that is really, because they would be looking for something and they wouldn't have it, and they wouldn't have cool shoes to go to school, and I think everybody ought to have cool shoes. I'm really into shoes, if you figure that out. It was an easy one for me. So what we did, we decided to have a raise money for shoes. We had a clever name for it, which I can't remember. And people loved it, because what is more fun than to give money to buy something like shoes? So we raised a lot of money, and my daughter went down to the shoe stores and got discounts because we would buy in volumes, and we'd take these shoes over to the clothes closet. It was just, I was down there, and this kid's like, wow, look. And it was shoes. You guys, I still remember that. That was such a high. It was really such a high. It was probably one of the neatest things we did, and one of the funnest things. So why this topic? And I've thought about this for a long time. Actually, it's a learning curve for me. And because there's more to kindness. And I wish I had been taught this when I was young, all my life, but I wasn't. And maybe this will speak to you also. I was taught to be nice. And most of the time, I was really nice. I mean, my grandmother drilled that into me, and we came from a small community, so everyone knew if you weren't being nice, it would get around. So I was really nice. But because I learned to be so nice, you guys, I wasn't always kind. Does that make sense? And it took me a long, long, long time to learn this. And I Googled the topic after I thought of this. I thought I wanted to talk about this. And I found this. It was my topic. Came up on the internet with an article by a gal named Kristen Caminiti. And she's formed an organization, and it's well funded by a lot of corporations, dedicated to fostering kindness in children. And we all hear, particularly with the internet and social media, how horrible it can be on kids who are really treated unkindly or have things say unkind about it. So I thought this was a really important thing to do. I want to tell you what she said. She said, this is a topic about which I have a lot to say. When I decided that spreading kindness as far and wide as possible would be my mission, I did not embark on that mission without doing a lot of soul searching about what it really means to be kind. She says, when I give presentations to students, parents, or teachers, I talk about the difference between being kind and being nice, which you may know. So being nice is you never want to rock the boat. Anybody never want to rock the boat? I sometimes kind of like to rock the boat. So, but to be kind is willing to make waves. To be nice, most concerned with not upsetting someone. To be kind is most concerned with doing what is right. And being nice is afraid to speak up when they witness unkind behavior. And willing to speak up and take a stand is to be kind. To be nice is worried about being liked. To be kind is worrying about being kind. And you can imagine teaching that in schools. How to be kind, how to speak up. How to speak up for bullying and kind. But it's true for us too. Kindness, and she says, kindness doesn't mean ignoring when people do things that are unkind, wrong, ignorant, racist, and discriminatory. It doesn't mean keeping quiet when you disagree with someone about a moral issue. but it does mean treating people with respect. Okay? Sometimes the kindest and bravest thing we can do is to stand up for someone stand up to someone who is being unkind. She says doing so, may cause conflict. And it will upset the person we might be confronting. And a nice person would see the potential for conflict and stay quiet. A nice person never wants to rock the boat. A kind person always knows conflict is possible and acts anyway. A kind person knows that they might create waves when they see something that should not be happening. My daughter, the one that we did the shoe project with, she's a teacher. And she's a really good teacher. I mean, I do say so myself, but I think she's a really good teacher. And she's taught, like, she wasn't stupid. She had to wait a few years, like, to be really solid in her job before she started rocking boats. But she's a boat rocker, and I'm really, really proud of her. She works in a Title IX school district where there aren't a lot of things, and there's a lot of issues and a lot of problems. Well, she has, she started school. She has a classroom about as big as the library. And they gave her 27 kids, and they gave the other teacher 27 kids. And she has kids that don't speak English, and she has kids that have problems, emotional problems. And she had a little boy that had cerebral palsy, so they could not teach. So she went to the principal, and that didn't work. So she went to the superintendent, and it was clear that if that didn't work, I said, well, there is the newspaper. So they didn't have the money, but they immediately hired another teacher. And so that those kids could get an education, because I guess no one cared. But here's the deal that I'm really proud of her about for rocking boats. She has this little boy in there that's in cerebral palsy. She teaches second grade. And he's in a wheelchair. And this is his kindergarten first. This is his third year at this school. And so there's no playground equipment for him. And so what she witnessed was him crawling on the playground in order to access some of the things. She was beside myself. She always calls me when she's beside herself. And so she went to complain. They said, oh, right. But see, this was the second year someone had complained. So we need some playground equipment. Well, this is not okay that this little boy does not have playground equipment. And they have swings, and they have things that you can do with your hands, move them with your hands. So she went to the principal. And yeah, we're working on it. And she went to the superintendent. Well, I think we've got something in for it. And it didn't happen. She went to the union, and then the next step was the newspaper. I think the superintendent's probably scared when he sees her. But I am so proud of her. And they said, well, we'll get a swing. And she said, no, that's a baby swing. You'll get a swing that he can use like a big kid. And he has a swing that he can use like a big kid. So it's okay sometimes not to be popular. And speak up. I'm really proud of her for that. I was telling my husband, I was going over this talk with my husband last night, and I was saying, oh God, all these places where I was so unkind because I didn't know how to not be nice. And I was afraid to upset somebody by telling the truth. And so I went to great efforts to get out of the situation. and caused immense amount of hurt. Not just once, you guys. Several times. Maybe it was an ongoing way I did. I just don't want to do this. I got to get out of it. I got to get out of this relationship. How am I going to do that? I can't just say something. And so Paul said, well, why don't you tell these stories to your congregation? And I said, no, I can't do that. I do want them to have a fairly good opinion of me. So I'm not telling the stories. But I did outgrow them. And I speak boldly now. But and I was driving somewhere after that, and I got to thinking, well, everything about that was not about the other person's feelings being hurt, because I hurt them worse by not saying. It was about me. I didn't want to be uncomfortable. I didn't want to face that, so I could solve it by not facing it, by making it, worse. Do any of you have any idea what I'm talking about? I'm talking in code, so I don't have to tell you stuff. But you get it. And so I don't want to upstart, or what's the word? Upset Dawn, but I have a joke. Well, it's not actually as good as Dawn's jokes, I have to admit, but... So an elderly woman walked into the local country church, and the friendly usher greeted her and at the door and helped her up the few flights of steps. And she said, I want to sit in the front pew. And he said, oh, I don't think you really want to sit in the front pew. The pastor is so boring. And she said, do you know who I am? And he said, no, I am the pastor's mother. And he said to her, do you know who I am? And she said, no. He said, good. And he left. So I'm not saying that we aren't wise in what we do. We don't want to lose our job. We want to be smart. But we want to be kind. And sometimes it takes some figuring out just how to do that. The difference between being nice and kind. And the second thing I want to say to us today is to explore. It's about being kind to ourselves. It's not just being kind to everybody else. It's being kind to ourselves because we are a valuable child of the universe too. It's really, really important to be kind to ourselves. And I would ask you, did you ever not stand up for yourself and then just be plain mad at yourself for that? Or it's been days thinking, oh, what you could have said. I could have had this comeback. And that's not good for the immune system, I don't think. No, just dwelling on that. Or did you ever say yes when you meant no? And then you were so ticked at yourself and probably the other person whose fault it wasn't. It's important to say no when we mean no. Even though there's a tendency, I want to make that person happy. They're asking me something, I want to make them happy. But we don't make anybody happy when we are not totally honest, kindly honest. And this isn't just about volunteering, it's about relationships too. It's very much about relationships. And boy, when I started exploring this, and I mean, it wasn't like there were new ideas, but when I started really getting into this topic, I realized there was something deep here. Something really deep. You know, if we uncover everything that we talk about, I think here, if we keep going layer after layer after layer, we find something underneath that is driving us. So, and then I thought, well, being kind to our body. We have this body and we have this life. And it's a gift. And how are we going to use it? How are we going to be kind to it? Because I think we think of kindness in terms of other people and things, don't we? But in being kind to ourselves, being kind to this body, and I would say, do we create a nice environment for ourselves? Are we responsible for what do we do? Meet our own needs? Do we honor ourselves? And I was thinking about, I have this little arthritis thing in my hands now, or something. And I realized that what I eat makes a difference. So I thought, when I was doing this talk, I thought, okay, am I being nice to myself because I want to be nice to myself and have that piece of pastry over there? I'm being nice. Okay, I'm being nice to myself, making myself happy, saying yes to the pastry. But it's going to make my body hurt. So I thought, this is the process I go through in my head, sometimes talking to my cats. But what about being kind to my body? What about that being part of being kind to me, being kind to my body? This isn't good for me. Why would I do it? So I'm really working on that, In Corinthians chapter 13, which I talk about all the time, it talks about what love is. And one of the things it says, love is kind. And so it's paramount that we love ourselves. You can go into any teaching. Love God, love yourself, love your neighbor. That would be a Christian way of doing it, which is also the Jewish way, because you know that came out of the Jewish tradition. Jesus didn't make it up. This is a tradition all across the board. So loving ourselves, be kind to ourselves, one way to love. So do things that are good for ourselves. So this month, and I would ask you, do you feel like you always do that? We think about other people. Are you kind to yourself? And that's just something maybe to take home and explore. Am I kind to myself? Am I being nice or am I being kind? And what I did learn about being nice, I mean, it's good to be nice. But am I being nice at the sake of being kind? So I'm not saying everyone here shouldn't be nice and go downstairs and, okay, just tell every truth you've ever thought of. No, that's not what I'm talking about. So there's a kindness tree out there Cheryl Ostrander created, and I think that is just like the best idea, that you can write down and put on the tree your act of kindness this week. And it can be an act of kindness for someone else or an act of kindness for yourself. Take time for yourself, guys. Take time for yourself. Cherish yourself too. And so put that on the kindness tree. It's such a really great idea. And I just challenge us for the rest of the month, and then during our candlelight, where we get to celebrate this light within ourselves. And then on the last Sunday of the month, we're having a burning bowl. And I know Cheryl we have two Cheryls here. And they're very, very active here, so we have to keep them straight. Has an amazing, amazing experience for us on that day as we release and bring into our hearts and our lives those things that we want and those things we want to release. So this month, just explore these ideas in your own life. Namaste.
I'm going to play a song by David Friedman. I know it was recorded by Nancy Lamott. Might be the version you know. We Can Be Kind. So many things you can't control, so many hurts that happen every day, so many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody really wants to go to war. If everyone wants to make things right, then what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hands. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, then together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And it's not enough to talk about it, not enough to sing a song. We must walk our walk about it. You and I, do or die, we've got to try to get along. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same things. And maybe we'll find, if we are kind to each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. And maybe we'll find true peace of mind if we always remember we can be kind. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ari. And now is the time in our service for our offertory, sharing our kindness with our community. Yeah. And we have an affirmation.
What is the affirmation? Let us start our affirmation. It's in your program. It starts with the word divine. Divine love moving in and through me. blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
I am grateful, I am grateful for abundance in my life. I am grateful, oh so grateful for the abundance in my life. I am grateful, I am grateful for abundance in my life. I am grateful, I am grateful for the abundance in my life.
Whether it's easy or there's some difficulty in expressing it, kindness includes the way we treat our beloved community. And in supporting our community with funds and money and time and talent and effort and the pure intention of goodness, we create an atmosphere of welcoming, an atmosphere of being at home in our spiritual lives here at Woodland Chapel. And we invite everyone to be kind to themselves in this way by giving freely of their heart, by giving freely of their mind, by giving freely of their efforts. And so let us say together, we are thankful, and so it is. If you'd like to stand now, we can offer our prayer of protection, which is also in the program. You can read it from the program if you like. It starts with the word the light. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's join hands and sing our peace song.
Let there be peace.